The Honourable Member for Edmonton Strathcona, followed by the Honourable Member for Calgary Mountain View.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, this government stepped into a labour dispute to block the rights of workers. In so doing, they protected a private long-term care operators, diverting public funds meant for employee salaries into their profit margin. Now, this government claims they're protecting seniors, but they're only protecting the company using taxpayers' dollars to pad their bottom line. So to the Minister of Labour, why is he helping a private long-term care company to shortchange its employees by 20% while pocketing the difference?
That's the Honourable Minister of Human Services.
Mr. Speaker, my role as Minister of Human Services is to ensure that vulnerable Albertans are protected and to make sure that labour standards are effectively carried out. In this particular circumstances, it is very clear that the vulnerable individuals involved, those who are residents of the home, would not be well served by having to move if there is not sufficient staff to take care of them in their place, and that it's not clear that there would be sufficient staff to care for them in their place, and therefore the most important thing to do is to ensure that the labour dispute that's happening is dealt with appropriately, but more importantly, that the individuals involved have a safe environment in which to live.
The Honourable Member.
To the Minister of Health, then, given that this government already funds the company on the basis of what AHS pays its employees, and given that money clawed back from frontline caregivers will neither save the taxpayer any money nor improve services to these residents, will the Minister admit that this is a perfect example of while having the private sector deliver publicly funded services hurts the quality of service received by vulnerable Albertans?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the success of Alberta in the area of continuing care is a result of a partnership that involves government, not-for-profit organizations, and the private sector. To take this particular instance, which is an unfortunate instance and is under the Disputes Inquiry Board that the honourable colleague referred to, and to generalize that as a failure of the system as a whole is a non sequitur, Mr. Speaker, that I'm not going to participate in.
The Honourable Member.
Well, Mr. Speaker, this system has not been a success. Now, given that private companies will repeatedly attempt to divert public money for services toward padding their bottom line, that's what their shareholders want them to do, why won't the government really stand up for seniors and finally start funding more long-term care centres, or any, that are publicly administered so that seniors don't have to pay the cost of inflating a private company's profit margin through higher fees and compromised services? To the Minister of Health.
Mr. Speaker, with all respect to the honourable member, I do not think what Albertans want is a philosophical or an ideological debate about public versus private versus non-profit. What they do want, Mr. Speaker, is a continuing care system and a range of options that work for them, that bring health care to them in place in their own community. That's what we're endeavouring to do.